Did it work? Yes, I think I'm here. All right. So, hi, Facebook friend. I'm Stella Scott, and today I'm going to hold this face pod of mine that I call What's Your Question? And I get different topics, either from people asking me questions, like last week, someone asked a question that was like grounded in something I did the week before. And sometimes I just see things and I just realize that this is like in the air and it could be a good thing to talk about this. And today's topic, looks and appearance from a spiritual point of view, came to my mind because I'm part of a wonderful group of like light workers and coaches and spiritual change makers, where this discussion came up about what happens when you look in a certain way, when you dress in a certain way, you know, how you like dress up or dress down. And for me, I got really triggered because dressing so-called up is being you fully. So preparing this has been super emotional. I mean, I get emotional just thinking about it. Really emotional, and I have been a little like, whoa, this is a topic. I've covered this before. I've written about it in Swedish, and I did a facepod in Swedish about it. How important it is to feel good about yourself and to actually present yourself to the world in your best way possible. But I'm going through some big changes with myself, so it's like I'm mutating in in some odd way, and so this has become more and more profound for me. And I have decided to hold a webinar about it even. So if you want to know something about that, the date is going to be on the 19th of May. It's going to be, yeah, I'll give you the dates a little later. I have several notes here on this. Looks are not superficial. The desire to show yourself to the world, let's use the word show off or like enhance yourself and make yourself visible, is, in my opinion, innate. And if you don't do that, something is wrong. Might sound weird. When I was about 18, I read an article from Survival of the Holocaust. It was an interview with her, and she was a beautician. And she had decided to become a beautician when she came from the concentration camp to Sweden. And she was in the hospital, and she saw, here we go, choking up. If you've been watching me before, you know that I was a person who never cried before, ever. But now I am, and I'm very happy about that. I am even grateful that I can cry today. So she was lying there in the hospital, you know, all, you know, starved and all that. And then the Swedish women came with makeup and you know, helped these women, you know, to become pretty again, to feel, you know, like my outer appearance is important. And she saw what happened with these women and what happened with herself when she started to like get into becoming a human being again. And that was part of it. So she decided to become a beautician to help women feel more at peace with themselves and be out and be like strong in the world. And that it in a way it like changed my life. It changed my look, my outlook upon looks. And I have a lot to say about my own process about this, but I'm not going to go into that today. So I'll do that in the webinar later on. So reading that and realizing how much outer appearance means to us, not only to women, but to all of us, was a life-changing moment. And then I've spent most of my life on stage. I started like when I was 4, and I'm still there. And there, you know, you like learn to show yourself in different ways, you know, with makeup, with costume, and what that means, and that there's a lot of symbolism in clothing. And when I went to Pratt Institute in New York, you know, studying arts and theater, one of the things that I did there was, you know, an analysis of a Wagner opera, what they were wearing, and also why did they wear this particular thing, and that also had a very profound effect on me, not only as a theater person, but also as a private person. I realized that what we are showing off to people is a message, that we are messaging things by our appearance. And I'm bursting with things here. All right, so let's go here where the first time I started to cry, and I really cry when I was preparing this, is that, and I've said this before, when we come here to this planet, we come into this body. And we come to this body because this body allows us to come. The body owns you. It's not the opposite way around. And because that is what we hear, that you're a spiritual being having a physical experience. I'm not going to say that's not true, but it's a fact that when the body is done with you, it will allow you to let go. So your body owns you. And your body is not only your temple, your body, here we go, this is the only reason you're here. Because you be a body. And if you do not take care of that body and honor it and cherish it and nurture it in every possible way from the inside out, that's blasphemy for me. And as I said, this has been a long journey for me to where I am today. When I was 27, for the first time in my life, I saw what I looked like. I thought I had been kind of plain. I realized then that I was not plain. I'm still not plain. But then I did not understand that it was also something to celebrate. So today I celebrate what I look like. And what I saw and see with many light workers and coaches and people that work with healing and more in the spiritual realm of helping people evolve and being of assistance and really, raising the vibration of what's going on this planet, I can see that a lot of them turn up what I call graying themselves down, as if being spiritual and caring about what you look like and presenting yourself in your most flattering way possible would not go together. Just as, spiritual people are not supposed to charge for their services. I don't know how we're supposed to pay our rent and buy mascara. But we all have a right to earn our living. And when we earn our living with giving and acknowledging, spiritual, personal development, and all that, we deserve to get paid. So, looking good and taking best care of this body that has said, yes, you are welcome to this magnificent planet. And I, as a body, will allow you to be here for a while to enjoy all the beautiful things that you can see and be and experience here. And that includes your body. That includes your face. That includes dressing yourself in a way that makes you feel comfortable, and also having people look at you and say, wow, that's a magnificent human being. And this has nothing to do with, if you don't like makeup, don't wear makeup. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that every child loves to be seen. No exception. Every child wants to be cherished and received. And within you, there is still this child. And allow that child to be seen and heard by cherishing the body. Your looks, and if that includes red lipstick, as it does in my case, I do not wear lipstick to have a higher sense of security or self-confidence. I have self-confidence, and therefore I wear lipstick. So because this is also what people talk about, you dress up and wear this and that to feel confidence. And I don't believe in that. I think it goes the other way around. Really, I mean, for real, it goes the other way around. That you have yourself, and that self, when that self is like secure and grounded, it desires to show off. It will show off. And if that includes, having short hair or long hair, or wearing like a checked shirt, skirt, trousers, pants, socks, I don't know. But that they choose from your inner being. When I was a child, I thought it was so unfair that the male birds had all these feathers and colors, and the girl birds were like gray. I thought that was so unfair. I realized, I got the information that it was because they were supposed to be like protected when they were like nesting and this and that, and without that, they would not be eaten up, and that is also why all the little ducklings looked the same, because they were supposed to be protected by their colors. But I thought it was unfair. And in a way, I still think it's unfair, but in the opposite way, it's unfair that women are more allowed, in a way, to show off, while men are supposed to have like this one way of dressing, and that there is like this, you're either or, and in reality there is no either or, that we like all humans, and some people roam in between, and let people dress and have makeup if they want, in any way they like, without judgment, because it comes from, if you're true with yourself, it comes from here. It's not about dressing for someone else. I'm not here to try to sell you on dressing up for someone else. I'm here to sell you on dressing up for yourself. Because I truly believe that when you are congruent with your core, people will see you in a different light. If you try to dress up to impress for them, they will know that, and that creates like an uncomfortable feeling, and they will not like sense all of you. But when you come with who you are, it doesn't matter if it's about your makeup or what you're wearing, if you're wearing jeans or if you're wearing nothing. Whomever you're with, what's like more or less appropriate for the occasion. You don't go out naked into the city. But that you always feel that you are like good with yourself. And this goes, so here I go into like the whole weight thing. What kind of body, it's not what kind of body do you want, it's what kind of body does the body want to be. Did you ever ask your body, what size do you want to be? Do you want to eat this? Is this what you want? Right now I want a little water. Because I could sense that actually I have a little thirst here. The body has a little thirst. So you have to be like in communication and communion with what the body desires. Does the body want red and blue today? It's such a big topic, and such a big thing, how to learn to be with yourself, true with yourself, listen, and hear, understand the subtle signals of your physical existence and where it's happy. It has taken me a long time to get to where I'm at now. I don't know where I will be 30 years from now. I will be somewhere else. Since I'm mutating and morphing into, all kinds of existences, which is great fun, and sometimes also like painful. Changing is not always that comfortable. Have you noticed? So spend time with your body. Spend time listening to her, honoring her, and those subtle things are like, does she feel more comfortable in black or in yellow? Does she feel more comfortable in this kind of yellow or that kind of yellow? Where do I look my best? In this kind of red or that kind of red? In this kind of pattern or that kind of pattern? It takes time. Ever since I was a child, I always liked, ties. I got my first little bow tie when I was 4 years old. I've always liked suits. I got my first suit when I was 7. I had great parents that way. In other ways, I had not so great parents. That's another story. But that way, and I was so allowed to the way I wanted to dress. I was allowed to play around with makeup when I was like 7, 8, 9. I was given the allowance of experimenting with my body and what I could do with her. In many ways, I was not seen, and I tried to make myself gray and beige. That's a story in itself. So when I started my own therapeutic journey and like started to dive into who am I and who do I want to present into this world, I was a beige person. I know, hard to believe as from what you see now, but that's who I was. I was beige. I would never wear makeup. I worked on stage, so for me it was like I do that, the colorful stuff and the makeup, and because I was like a dancer and this whole thing of like showing off, I did that on stage, but privately, I was very, very muted. I was gray. I was beige. I was bland. I wore big things that wouldn't show off my body, so no curves, no breast, nothing. And living that way was not very healthy. It was unhealthy, totally unhealthy. So when I talk about this as a spiritual thing and from a spiritual perspective, I want to encourage you to look upon yourself from a much deeper level, a much higher level, and allow yourself to be visible. If you're a business owner, if you do this thing with personal involvement and spiritual healing and counseling and all those things, if you want to help other people to be seen and to come out in the world and be words grounded in themselves, I dare you to be that yourself, to stay in your own beautiful, magnificent body and show off. Be there, be visible. Walk out into the street and make sure they see you. That they say, whoa, that was an interesting experience, energy, vibe, whatever it was that passed. So you are seen. Don't gray yourself down. Don't be a beige one, as I was. Don't. It doesn't make you happy, and it does not support your client. It doesn't support your client. Because who you are is the most important thing. Even if you have magnificent tools, who you are is what will attract people to you and what you have to offer. And if gray and beige is attracted to gray and beige, how are you going to be seen so you can like really change things? If you want to be part of the big change that is going on, I hope we can change things big time. But that will only happen if we all participate with everything we have, because your body owns you and she wants to be part of this all the way. As I said, I can talk about this for a long time, and therefore I have decided to create a webinar where we can have actually talk to each other. So it will be on the 14th of May. If you're interested, write something down here. You can just say, give me information. Yes, I want to be part of this. I want to know more. Just something. Give this video a like or a heart or a wow or a sign. Like this page. And the time will be either if you're on the on the West Coast in the US, it will be 9 o'clock in the morning. It will be 6 o'clock. No, yes. Oh, these hours. 12 o'clock if you're on the West Coast, and if you're in Europe, it's going to be 6 o'clock in the evening. So, because it's going to be in the evening here, and it's Saturday, that might not be the absolutely best time, but most people that speak English that follow me are in the US, so that's why. But of course, I will have a replay, so you can come on later. And I also plan to create VIP days about this, one-on-one VIP days. Perhaps other kinds of VIP days too. So this is in the making. But if you want to participate in this webinar, say something here so you will be informed about when it happens. That was today. Looks are not superficial. Looks are very spiritual, very deep, very important. So that's what's going to happen. I wish you a glorious day and a beautiful weekend. Talk soon. Bye for now.